Good evening, folks. Welcome to the Richmond Big Footy Tigercast Player of the Year Awards for Round 8, the Hawthorn game. Not the greatest result in the world, gents, but the votes was probably, I thought, one of the more difficult weeks to have votes done. But I think we've done an okay job from what I've seen come through. But are you expecting any surprises this week with the votes?
I'm expecting to see the votes in different positions. But can I say, nice to be back on top. Yeah.
Yeah, position-wise. A frantic race to click on the link first to see who get into the studio.
It's like I think we'll have similar players, but maybe in different positions in the votes.
I think you'll find that is, very much the case.
And I'm expecting EJ, because he actually didn't have his votes in time, he just copied mine, is what I'm expecting.
I have heard that. Yeah.
Yes. Unlike yourself, I actually have integrity.
I can't even spell it, mate. What's that mean again?
Well, with that said, let's get stuck into the votes. For the 5 votes, Timmy Taranto nearly swept the 5s. So I went Taranto, Grok Taranto, Teeks Taranto, and EJ. Timmy Taranto, what would you like about his game?
Well, first of all, he flew the flag. So that gives, we're screaming for leadership in this period of time, in the transitional stage of our list. I thought he really led from the front. He had 8 tackles, 366 metres gained. His disposal efficiency was actually 88%. For Tim Taranto, you heard that right, 88%. He's been getting chopped, whatever. So he had an all-around good game, and there wasn't too much separating him and Hopper, but that little bit of leadership on display tipped me over the edge.
I like it. CB, you went for Jacob Hopper.
I'll clarify this with my votes. I was pretty drunk by the end of the game. So my views are a little bit skewed, remembering. But I thought Jacob Hopper, another 28 disposal game, 79% DE, 8 contested possessions. What else was there? I don't know. 304 metres gained. I just thought, 5 clearances, 3 centre clearances, 2 stoppage, 4 tackles. I just thought it was another consistent, serviceable game from Tim Taranto. From Jacob Hopper. He's still drunk.
No,
yeah.
Fair enough. I like it. 4 votes. I went for Luke Trainer, as did Grok, as did EJ, and then Tiggs went for Hopper. But EJ, tell us a bit more about the Luke Trainer vote.
Well, high efficiency again, intercepts, marks. He's just courage. He's just the consistency he's displaying for someone of his age and his lack of experience. It belies belief. It's unbelievable. He's now adding quantity of possession along with the other work that he's doing. That's a couple of weeks that he's had, these sort of numbers now, over 20 disposals. So no, he's going fantastic.
Yeah, loving his work. He's well ahead of his time. So more of that, please, Luke Trainer. And CB, you went for Nick Loston at 4.
Yeah, apologies to Luke Trainer. Really could have been Luke in this spot. But Nick Loston, 20 disposals at 95% disposal efficiency. Considering how often the ball was coming in there, that's pretty good motoring. What was there? 3 intercepts. Another. The funny thing was probably quite a game on Nick's behalf because Hawthorn were able to sort of take him out of the play a little bit, but he still found ways to get involved in the play, if that makes sense. So I thought, again, pretty handy game from Nick.
Fair enough. We'll go to the 3. Oh, you go, EJ?
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, Nick still had, nearly 400 metres gained, and Trainer led us with 440-odd metres gained. They're becoming a really potent combination down back, and it's allowing and Broad is allowing a lot of that by being, responsible and gives them a little bit more freedom as well. So, fantastic, both of them.
Yeah, and well, you had Nick Floston as your 3 votes, I'm guessing, for much of the reasons that you just mentioned then.
Yep, exactly.
I had Jacob Hopper. Grock had Jacob Hopper. Tiggs went Tom Brown, which I didn't mind that one. I thought it was a nice game from Tom Brown. And CB, you went for Timmy Taranto at 3.
All the reasons mentioned.
All the reasons mentioned. Simple as that. 2 votes. I went for Tom Brown for much of the same reasons why Tiggs went for Tom Brown. Tiggs went for Luke Trainer. Grock went for Tom Brown as well, as did you, EJ. You also liked what you saw from young Tom?
Yeah, I'll tell you what, I'm really happy that we've gone a different vote for the 3. Otherwise, we could be in real trouble, Michaels.
Yes, that's true.
Wow.
Yes. But look, as I said in the main pod, the difference for me this week was against earlier in the season, he's becoming more defensively responsible, and that is a real good progression. Yeah.
And he's passed to Morris Jr.
He's clever by foot. He doesn't waste it. Yeah, fantastic.
Just got to get him to 70 games ASAP to get some more runs on the board for him. And CB went for Luke Trainer.
All the reasons mentioned.
He's a jet. We love him. And for the 1 vote, no, we've dodged a bullet here, EJ. We're all right. I went Sam Banks for the 1 vote. I really liked his game, 100% disposal efficiency. I thought he's starting to really understand and believe that he belongs in the side now, which is good. Tiggs went for Noah Bolter. Grock went for Toby Nankervis. And EJ, you went for Jacob Hopper with your 1.
Yeah, for all the reasons mentioned, Jacob and Tim have both been really consistent all year. There wasn't that much between them with the games, but I wanted to reward the defenders with some votes as well. Really, really tried to get Nank into the votes, so I'm really happy to see Grock sticking him down there. He's the last 2 games, he's almost been unheralded, but he's doing a massive job.
Just on that quickly before I go to CB, he could be in for an interesting game this week after what Max Gawn did to the young West Coast ruckman as well. I know that Nank's a bit smaller than Gawn, but hopefully he can get some reward for his efforts over the last few weeks.
I hope he's so angry. I hope Nank just right on the edge this week.
You feel like his eyes are going to light up at the prospect of this game, and he's going to be just smashing in at 100 mile an hour.
Yep.
Does Nank own a dog? Do you know?
Not sure why.
Look, I'm not advocating animal cruelty, and it's obviously a joke, but someone go and kick his dog or something to make Nank really upset. Mix up his coffee order. I don't know. Do something. Make Nank angry.
Wind him up before the game, you reckon?
Yeah.
And CB running out the vote, you went for Tom Brown. We mentioned him earlier. Anything else to add for Tom Brown?
No. Easy one this week.
And so that brings up the leaderboard. Currently, we've got Jacob Hopper on 99 votes. It's almost cracked the ton. He's had a super year. And I think, honestly, everyone's happy for him just because of the injury troubles and the bullshit he went through along the journey. So good on him. Tim Taranto, 79 votes. Nankervis, 51. Vlosten, 48. Campbell, 40. Trainer, 39. So he's obviously jumped up the ranks this week on the back of a really nice game. Thompson Dowd, 28. Ross, 26. Mansell, 25. McIntosh, 24. Miller, 21. Lawler, 21. Brown, 14. Short, 12. Blight, 11. Ralph Smith, 11. Lynch, 11. And then some single digits underneath. But Jacob Hopper, gents, is starting to scoot away a little bit. I think Taranto would have reeled him in a bit this week, almost getting all of the 5s. Again, we've said this for most weeks, but it's no real surprise to see them up there leading the way. But it is super good to see a Luke Trainer, a Seth Campbell, and even a Thompson Dow up in the mix too.
Yeah, for sure. And it's also go
on. I'm fascinated to see how this pans out when we see the Richmond BNF results versus how we voted to see how close we get.
Yeah. I know like every other award, it's going to end up being a midfielder's medal, but it is great to see Vlosten and Trainer so high up, given that that's the case.
Yeah.
And I think that's where supportive voting awards like this can change or can include other parts of the ground, because we do acknowledge roles that certain players play, even though they might not get as many disposals or whatever. We can kind of recognise that, they shut down that guy or they did this and that isn't a stat as such, but it's equally as important for the team. So, I think we get the balance right most weeks. I think we do okay. But anyway, that is our votes for the week. Make sure you put your votes in the comments below, your 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and let us know how you think we went. And we'll be back again next week to see if anyone can catch Jacob Hopper from the West Coast game. So until then, go Tigers.